Hi, and welcome back to Rolling Hills Soul Care Podcast. My name is Jazzy, and I'm here with Chuck. How are you today, Chuck?
Hi, Jazzy. I am doing well.
You are doing well. I have a question to ask you that was given to me by one of the very young members of our congregation, and he asked me if I could ask you this question and share with everyone. I need to preface this with, it was not my child, because my child thinks that I make too many jokes about him. But it was not my child who came up and asked me this. But knowing all of the things that you do around here at Rolling Hills, Chuck, and how busy you are and how many different ministries you're in, this young person asked me to ask you, I apologize for this, when is a pickle not a pickle?
Oh, Jazzy, I love working with you. I don't know.
It's when it's a pickleball. There we go.
I was fearful that pickleball was going to work its way into it, but
eventually, it had to be here, right?
Yeah.
There we go. I will tell that young person that he stumped you.
Yep.
But now you know.
Now I know, and so if I'm asked again, I will be able to tell him.
That's how you open the next session that you're hosting.
You listening that are like, what does pickleball have anything to do? You can go down to the lower level of the church and see pickleball pretty much 7 days a week here.
You can watch an amazing tournament and be in awe at the skill.
Yep.
I am in awe at the skill.
Not my skill, but other people's skills, yes.
Well, not mine either. So, all right. Well, okay, we should get back to our blog post. Today, you're going to read us blog post number 102, correct?
Correct.
Okay. This is called He Restores My Soul. I'm going to sit back and soak this in because I need some soul restoration.
And that's often the case with me. I write most of these to myself. So here's what I wrote. If you look up the word restore in the dictionary, you'll find these definitions. To bring back to a former, original, or normal condition. To bring back into existence. To return someone or something to a former condition, place, or position. Most of us have likely seen something that has been restored. Maybe it was an old painting, or a house, or a table, or a car. Or maybe you had an experience with a business, or a person, where something had gone terribly wrong, but then circumstances changed, and your faith in that person or business is restored. Or maybe your computer hard drive crashed, and you were thrilled when a computer expert was able to restore all your files and photos. Or maybe you had knee replacement surgery, and you went to physical therapy to restore your normal range of motion. But there is only one who can restore souls. Psalm 23 is a super familiar psalm to most of us. You know how it starts. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. And then, there it is. A simple but powerful 4-word statement about what he does next. He restores my soul. That's Psalm 23:3. There are lots of good reasons to practice soul care, but none of them are better than this. God knows that we live in a broken world. He knows the hurts and heartaches we experience. He knows when we give so much of ourselves to help others that we begin to feel drained and depleted. Sleep can help my physical exhaustion. Food and water help me when I'm hangry. Family and friends help bring a smile to my face, but only the Lord, my shepherd, can restore my soul. Every day he offers to restore our soul. And as we spend time with him and our souls go through this restoration process, he also promises to guide us on the paths of righteousness, which is the back half of Psalm 23:3. He doesn't promise to change our circumstances, but he will guide us and protect us even when we walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Daily restoration for our souls, plus guidance for the paths we will take each day. Soul care isn't something to do so we can check it off our list. Instead, it's taking time to join the shepherd so he can refresh us, refill us, and restore our soul. Take him up on this offer. Each day, he's waiting for us to join him for the best kind of restoration project we could ask for.
Whew, thank you, Chuck. This is something I really have to think about because I think if you were to ask me the condition of my soul, most often without even thinking, I'd be like, "Oh, my soul's tired. My soul's broken," and I just would start listing all the things that you said. I'm tired. I'm hangry, and I'm busy, and blah blah. And all of that is neglecting my soul. But I love this psalm is one of the first things we learn, right? If we grew up in the church, it's probably one of those things that was on our walls in our nursery and stuff like that. And little kids will get up in church and recite this almost like a poem, this psalm that we all know. And I have to be honest, this is one of the first times that it just occurred to me. Oh, of course, he restores our soul. That's a huge thing. And in order to do that, he has to start by knowing what our soul needs. Like you said, he knows our hurts. He knows our heartaches, I think is the word that you said. And that's something I can relate to a lot. Heartaches, hurts that we go through. But him knowing that is just step one. It's a huge thing. We forget that we aren't by ourselves when we're doing that.
Yeah, he's. I wrote this on a day where I literally was reading the psalm as part of my morning devotions, and he restores my soul. I don't know how many times I've read that.
Oh,
we've all
hundreds.
probably, yeah. But it just caught me, and our soul. There's where I list a bunch of things that tend to drag us down, but all of those things can be out of kilter, and our soul can still be filled.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always feel that way. It doesn't always work that way. But I was reminded recently. I looked. I think I have the author's name correct. Horatio Spafford, the author of "It Is Well with My Soul." The thing that when you read those words, if you don't know anything about it, it's still a powerful song. It's one of my favorite hymns. But he had lost. The Chicago fire had destroyed home and business. His wife and 4 daughters were on a ship going to England, and he was going to join them soon. And the ship went down.
Oof.
And he lost all 4 daughters. His wife made it. And as he's sailing to England, he crosses the point that they were lost.
That's a hard one.
Yeah. When sorrows like sea billows roll, you can picture the waves as he's out there. But that's when he says, "But whatever my lot," referring to the Lord, "thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul." And you're like, how? Only through God, only through spending time with him. He has a way of refreshing us and refilling us in that space that only he can do. Mary's a wonderful cook, and she can help me when I'm hangry. Sleep helps me when I'm tired. And, the recovering from working hard or playing hard. But my soul and the condition of my soul is up to the Lord and me aligning myself.
To work on together, yes.
Yeah.
So we have the tendency to equate our circumstances with our souls. Like
Right.
being tired
Very
or
much
hungry.
so.
But recognizing that it is only God who can see through those pieces.
Right.
And the soul is a bigger part of our actual being.
Yeah.
And I love that you pointed out the results of this restoration process. Like the result is that he continues to guide us, and he takes us on these paths that are more righteous and more to his, that point more to him.
Yeah. Well, in a similar way, where if you're on a long hike, you're going to stop and you're going to bring water and you're going to bring food in order to make the
Right.
entire journey.
Right.
And God knows that our soul gets depleted. This is a tough world. Just, bad things happen. There is spiritual evil. It is working hard to not allow Christ's kingdom to advance. But that's why we need to restore our soul throughout the day, but at least even if it's once a day, in some respects, it can almost feel like, okay, Lord, I need to be fully charged.
Just a constant IV of soul
start
restoration.
out this day. And so I got to plug in and make that happen. So anyway, that was what was that. There's only one who can do that, and that's God. And we have an opportunity. Not just an opportunity. We have an invitation.
Right.
There's a big difference, I guess.
Good point.
It's not just an opportunity. I could say I have an opportunity to go visit, some head of a country, and I probably do. but there's a big difference when that person is giving you an invitation. That's what God does for us every single day.
I am very glad that God has his hand on that, because I feel like I need to pursue it, like you said, pretty much all day, every day. So thank you so much for this insight. Yeah. Okay, well, if you would like to hear more, obviously you can subscribe to this feed if you haven't already. We are on the RH Church podcast feed. Our Sunday teachings are also there. You can also find more of Chuck's writings on rollinghills.org/worship. You can go to the RH Worship Instagram feed. Links are there as well. Thank you again, Chuck.
Thank you, Jazzy. It's always nice to be with you.
And you too. All right. See you next time.